There we go. There we go. What up, party people? How is everybody doing out there today on this lovely Tuesday, April 30th? Lovely day in spring, of course, where I'm at. Shout out to the gentleman in the room, Eduardo, familiar face. We see him every week. How are you today, sir?
Thank you very much for inviting me once again. I am very fine. Thank you very much. Uh, Hello, Ramon. Hello, Geng. It's nice to see you again here. It's been a long time.
It's been a bit. And by the way, you rolled me right into it. Shout out to Gang, longtime friend of the show, joining us today. Gang, how you been?
Good, and thank you for inviting me to your live stream. Yes, I've been good.
Of course, man, you're always welcome. The door's always open. Shout out to everybody joining us today. I know today, um, as I mentioned in the last live stream, there was going to be a little change in the schedule this week. Just trying my best to keep everybody updated in case we live stream on different days. But we are here on a weekday. And since we are on different parts of the world, at times, um, our schedules may not align exactly. But we are very, very fortunate to have Gang join us here today to kind of catch up a little bit. You know what? Today, we're chilling. All right. Today, we're not in like teacher mode or like trying to we're relaxing, no pressure. We're the friends hanging out. Like I said, we're the friends in your living room talking ish about everything we can find on TV, anything that we hear on the radio, anything that we see in our phones on social media. We're here to practice our English, practice our communication, even practice our conversation along with each other, along with anyone you might have to conversate with in the world. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Wes, extended family, everybody in Nigeria that's tuning in, anybody across the pond in Europe, in Asia, in the Middle East, in Africa, anybody in North America, South America, Central America. I just keep it with the continents because it is hard to remember every country. Shout out to Australia, way down under too, right? They got them kangaroos out there doing their thing. But okay, peeping into the chat, we got Milik. You know, Milik, I missed you being the first one in the chat. I really did. Someone beat you to it last week, but glad to see you. All right, Wes, checking in with us. How are we doing? We're doing great. Just like I said, we're chilling today. No pressure. We're just gonna talk a little bit like we always do, and hope y'all can gain something from it. But just to get started, gang, it's been a minute. Anything new? Anything you want to catch us up on? Anything that's
Uh,
been going on your end?
Not much. It has been the same old. I've been working. Yes, my children are studying at school.
Okay. Now, just because I wanna, I like to find these little opportunities, to kind of ask the questions that I want to ask. So, being that we are here for our English practice, English conversation, um, do your children practice English at school? Do they take an English class?
Actually, yes. I think they have English lesson at school around maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and each time it would be around 1 hour. And the school that they are going to is a private Thai school, and most of the lesson are taught in Thai language. But uh, but here English is very important, so they put English lesson like for a few days a week, like for student to study. Yes.
All righty. And Eduardo, would you say in Peru, this is also a common thing where you guys have an English class along with your regular schooling?
Yes, for example, it's normal that in your school they teach you English as a course. For example, when I studied the school, particular my school wasn't so so hard with this material
Yeah.
because normally when you pay a bigger price for school, you receive a better education. And that means that, for example, some material are in English. For example, I remember my brother who studied in different school. He studied in a school that have, for example, if you have a course like theater or you have a course like science, they teach you in English this course. So it was different, right? But in my school that I studied in school, not too much expensive, not too much, not too much demanding on time. They don't teach you English too much. They only teach you 2 hours per week. When I finished university, I started to study English, or when I was in the university, I studied English too. But it was in my superior education, not in my school. It was in my university. When I was in the university. No?
Got it. Yeah, like for example, in the States, at least for me growing up, there was always a Spanish class. That was the language. I don't know, maybe because I'm in, Florida. So here, everybody, there's a almost like the second language that is spoke most common among citizens is Spanish. Not sure if that's why it is. I mean, I didn't go to school in any other state, so I'm not sure how that might work in different counties. But for me, everything was in English, but there was that one Spanish class, and it seems to still be that way. So that's why it's kind of interesting to kind of hear different countries and what they might have as that secondary language. I guess based on where you are, it can be a different language. I know some people, study French, Italian, but from what I know, English and Spanish seem to be the two most dominant. I always feel like those two languages, even though they are very different, they're also very much alike as far as like the alphabet they use. Even a couple words are the same in both languages. If you want to compare it to Thai, if you want to compare it to Chinese, if you want to compare it to Arabic, it's much more familiar for a Spanish speaker to look at English words and the English language and find a few things that are familiar. Same thing when I hear someone talk Portuguese. I hear a little Spanish in there mixed in sometimes. Shout out to everyone in Brazil. Um, but gang, question. So for you, why is it important that your children grow up learning English? Like, how do you think this would affect their future positively?
Uh, to begin with, English is like a requirement that every student has to study at school. So if they are good at English, they will get good grade at school basically. And when they get to the university, they have to take the test. And English is also one of the subjects that they need to take as a part of the test as well. So if their English is good, they will get an advantage to get to a good university when they grew up. And when they study in the university, most of the time they use English text to study. So like if you can read English and have a large vocabulary, yes, you can understand easily like what you learn, and like it would be like better than like somebody who doesn't know a lot of English vocabulary. Like you learn much easier and faster. And when you work, like if you go and work with like American company and you have a good English skill, you get a good salary as well. So like it's important in a lot of ways. Like when you are young, and when when you get to be older and working and earn income as well. Yes. To have a good command of like speaking English.
Thank you, gang, for sharing those thoughts with us. Yeah, like here I would say even being bilingual, let's just take English and Spanish, does open the door for more opportunities if you're able to manage, two different groups of people and be able to speak to them fluently.
Yes.
I mean, I tip my hat to people that can speak more than two languages. That's just amazing. Do either one of you two know how to speak a third language, or are we all bilingual in the group?
Um, I'm
Eduardo,
I'm
too?
I'm currently trying to learn Chinese, but like it's just in a very beginning level. I try to listen to uh some podcasts to teach me in Chinese a little bit, and I've been doing that for almost a year now, and I hope that in the future I can speak the language. Yes.
All right, cool.
Um,
Guys, I got a little quick technical difficulty. Eduardo, take over. I'll be right back.
Okay. Now mention it, adding something to you mentioned again, for example, is very true, right? For example, in my case, at least in my company, for example, we work with different country, employees in different countries. And something that we find, for example, is to find uh, a professional that speak English, because it's very important to find someone like that, because we need a team that can communicate with the technical area for the other office. So the other office is speaking English. So it's very needed, someone to understand and can communicate very well. And I know that, for example, when you learn that on the school, it's easier for you, because it's easy for your mind to get all this knowledge, because your mind is more plastic. You are very willing you are very open to receive more knowledge, to receive new skills. So it's easier, right? So the strategy that you are doing now is to let your children study English now. It's very, very good, and it's something that is going to be very, very good on the future.
Thank you, and I totally agree with what you said, Eduardo. Yes, so like apart from letting my children studying English at school, um, every Sunday I send them to the mall, and they 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 need to take an English lesson for 1 hour, like privately with English native speaker, and I have been sending them to the mall to study English for I think the past few years now. Yes. And apart from that, in the evening, after they finish school and uh, come back to the house, I try to teach them English a little bit every night before they go to bed. Yes.
No. You know what? For example, now that they are, they are very young, the cognitive benefits that they will have is going to be very good, because when you are young, you are more willing to problem solving skill, to develop this, to develop your creativity, to develop your multitasking ability, even the pronunciation and the fluence when you learn English when you are a child is better, because it's better for you to pronounce better, easily, and than later in your life. Because in my case, for example, when I study in my institute with children, because it's according to your level. When I studied with some children, and they speak very fast, very quickly, and they are not afraid to speak English. They are not afraid to practice, and it's something important, because when you need to learn, you need to practice, right? So it's a very good strategy. And on the other hand, you have the educational advantage, right? If you provide children English, they have significant advances in academy. For example, when they go to university, maybe they can get some courses that are only in English. For example, particularly in my university, we have very material, very course that only were in English, and they only speak English with another student with another part of the world. For example, I remember a student from Germany, from French, from Canada, from USA, and all of them communicate in English. Even the course, the teacher speak in English. So was very fruitful. If you know English, you can go to this course, right? On this course, you can understand the last technology, the last sustainable practice, for example, and that's what very, very helpful. And if you put on your CV, when you find a work, for example, find a job, you put, hey, I get this course with this kind of people, I get these top trends, I know about this top trend, I don't know, technology. It's going to mark a difference between you and maybe the other candidates, right? So I think that it's very important. I think it's very important because have many advantages. If you don't study English and you study English, the difference is going to be very, very hard, and it could be something significant in your future.
I agree.
Mm.
Yes.
So technology, right? Because technology is very important when it comes to your learning. Nowadays, you have more tools, more resources. Um, Gang, how would you say technology has maybe changed through time as to how you may learn English?
Um, I think it kind of makes learning language a lot easier compared with people in the past because now we have internet. We don't have to go anywhere. We can just sit in front of our computer and absorb a lot of information in English, like on YouTube, on Netflix. We can watch movie, we can listen to song in English, and we don't have to go anywhere. Like compared to people in the past, like it's not easy to find content in English, and like sometimes like you need to hire like foreigner to teach you the language, and it can be very expensive, and you might need to go to another country to learn a language as well. But now like you can just sit in your living room and learn language all day, like without paying anything. Yes.
I agree. I agree strongly. All the tools are at our fingertips. If you
Yes.
want to learn, if you want to learn anything, I mean, we were talking about English now, but in general, I'll ask like my dad to help me with something with my car, and he'll be like, "Yo, go look on YouTube," and it'll tell you exactly what to do. And he's right. You'll look it up and you'll find step by step. There's a tutorial for everything online. There's courses on Udemy you can take if you want to cook something, if you want to learn a language, if you want to learn a skill, a trade. These days, I feel like self education is a little bit where it's at. And then through like life experiences as well. I commend academics and all those that teach it highly. I guess this space is just a little more casual, a little more a space where you can come and make your mistakes, pronounce something wrong, not because that's the practice you want, but because sometimes those are the little risks you have to take in order to advance, in order to be a better speaker. You might have to go speak somewhere and where you might have stuttered a couple times. You might have said a couple things incorrectly, but through those trials and those errors, we improve, we become better, we grow. A seed only grows when it's buried in dirt. So next time you feel you're buried in dirt, just let the sun shine through, absorb that water and grow. Grow. Push yourself out of that comfort zone. But alrighty. Just kind of acknowledging the chat. Give a couple shout outs. Shout out to Mail Cola. Thank you for joining us from London. We got Rose Beauty Channel. How are you? Bella Gracie. Thank you for joining us again. Paisa said, nice talking, Eduardo. How are you, Eduardo? You got your fans hollering at you. And then Felix Lord, you are right.
And do you know, I wanted to, now that we're here and this, speaking about in English and speaking about, speaking about with all these people, I wanted to know that if you celebrate tomorrow the International Workers' Days, I mean, do you celebrate tomorrow working days in your country? I think in game country, you celebrate working day tomorrow, right?
Actually, it's today, and today I don't have to work.
First May is there, right?
Oh yes.
So tomorrow, Ramon, you celebrate in your country Workers' Day?
No. No, I mean, to be fair, you guys just kind of told me about it. Mind you, my mind is like not where it should be today or this week, but interesting. I like this. International Workers' Day. Tell me more, my friend. Tell me more.
For example, I asking you this because today, for example, we in my company celebrate this date, and I have some speech with my employees because it's normally that we go to lunch. Now, for example, they are doing some grills in the first floors, and we are going to have a party here on my office. And it's something that I wanted to mention because of my speech. For example, I told them that they have to learn, they have to be open to new ideas. If you want to grow as a professional, you need to have an open mind, very open to be willing to learn new skills, right? Because it's so important now to adapt. It's so important that resilience and the adapt. For example, when you have employees, when you have someone that it's very willing to learn, you feel empathy and you see love empathy with that person and you help them to get what they want. If they want maybe to work in something special, if they don't, if they want an increase in their salary or if they learn something, you are very willing to give them in that. I like it to speak about that today because I consider very important this point, and I wanted to know how you celebrate, for example. For example, in my company, I go with them to have lunch. Tomorrow they don't have to work because it's a firm of mates. And I would like to know how is in your what is in your company again, or Ramon, what they give you in your company. Maybe they send you greets, maybe they send you some message, or maybe you have a special meeting. I don't know.
Go ahead, gang.
Like for me, I don't know what other people do like here in Thailand, but like for me, like it's just another holiday. Like nobody send me any text. Like I don't talk to anybody, but I take my today I plan to take my family to the mall and eat some lunch together. Yes, and like I want my children to go somewhere and play like in the mall. Yes, so
Okay.
I consider it as like another holiday. Yes, but I don't know, I don't actually know the meaning behind this holiday and like what we need to do. Yes.
I understand. And you in your case, Ramon.
Okay, in my case, since it's tomorrow, I guess I'll have to let you know what happens. But I don't, to be fair, my point of view, my opinion, of course, I don't think we really celebrate this day because we have a Labor Day, which is a different day. And that day is kind of like what you're describing this day to be, which is a day to kind of appreciate and acknowledge people that work, people that got jobs, people that go to work every day. And, everybody going to work, coming together is what creates a community. It's what creates a city. So I think we have a Labor Day, but this day you're talking about, to be frank, I don't think it's acknowledged too much. Honestly, I haven't heard anything. Like right now, Gang was like, "Oh, we have a." He told me earlier before we came on. He said, "Oh, we have a holiday today." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like we don't have a holiday right now. So let me see. Look, I'm gonna actually fact check, see if I have any extra information on that.
I think that it's because, for example, you work in different kind of activity, right? For example, I work in a consulting service, so we any company that is our clients work tomorrow, no? But for example, in case of the other company that we have that sells a product import from China, they continue to work the same to the liquor store. They continue to work normal, but it's going to depend the sector that you move, right, or you work.
Yeah, good point. But like I said, I think for us, we just acknowledge Labor Day a little bit more as that kind of day. But
I think
interesting.
that it's the same day, but you just have like a different date in your country. Yes. Today, like we call it a Labor Day as well here. Yes.
Yeah, Labor Day. Yeah, so yeah, we do have it. It's just I guess on a different day. And then y'all is international, kind of like saying other countries, I guess. But I mean, international to us, because what's international to me, Thailand is local to you.
Yeah.
It's all perspective, it's all point of view. You just peep back into the chat. Shout out to Joko. Shout out to YouTube Stream for joining us. Yeah, we're taking it easy today. We're chilling. No crazy topics, no controversial, nothing. We're just hanging. We're just catching up with Gang. Old friend of the live stream, been with us since the beginning. Um, Always glad to be able to align with the time zones. I know we're all in different time zones, but and since y'all are here, I don't want to confuse anybody. If within the next couple of days, stay tuned to the community tab on my YouTube channel, because the community tab is where I might be able to put like an update, a time, a schedule, let you guys know something. So the live stream, I know it's usually Saturdays, but for the next couple weeks, just keep your eyes on the community tab for updates. We're not going anywhere. We're still here. We might have to revamp, recalibrate, raise the status quo up, improve anything we might need to improve for the betterment of y'all's entertainment and y'all's viewership. So just, bear with us, stick with us. If you don't see us at the time you normally do, keep your eyes on the community tab and stay updated. Just in case, I know last time we took a couple weeks off, people thought we were done, but we're not done. In fact, we're just getting started. That's why today I figured I just wanted to make sure that I tap in with you guys every single week. But you know what? I actually wanted to do something that I don't do much, but I think this is a good opportunity. Chat, do y'all have any questions for us? This is a great time. Any questions for Gang? Any questions for Eduardo? We'll be more than happy to answer right now any questions y'all might have, if y'all have any. If not, it's cool.
I think that tomorrow I'm going to. I think that tomorrow. Do you know what I did the last week? Now that I want to mention about
What?
this, I went to the beach. I went to a restaurant. We asked for something to eat. It was a restaurant near to the beach, next to the beach, and it's a touristic place. And there was in my next to my table there was a couple, and both of them were tourists, and they don't speak Spanish very well. So I helped them to order something, and because no one's there speaking English, and it was very funny because I tried to speak with them, but their accent was different. I think that they were from one country in UK. I don't remember the exact country they. I don't remember, but it was quite. Sometimes when someone has different accents, it's different when you speak with. For example, when I speak with you, it's very easy because I am very used to hear you every time, so it's normal. The same to game, but when you speak with another person that speak with a different accent and they speak very quickly, it's like to okay, wait, please. That's very funny. I wanted to tell you this anecdote because now that we are speaking about learning English, so it's important to learn English sometime in different accents or at least in different with different speakers from different parts.
And what did they say about your English? Were they like, wow,
No,
you
no, no.
speak English?
They understand me because I speak quiet. I speak. It's very easy for me to be understand. I think at least because I try to be quiet. I try to move my hands to help me to help me with my body language, right? And because when you speak with body language, it helps you. It reinforces what you want to say.
Exactly. Yeah, that helps a lot, believe it or not.
Yeah. It helps a lot.
Cool. So you were able to put your English skills to the test and do a good deed for a tourist.
Yes.
Good. Do you come across often tourists that maybe don't speak Spanish that well? You might have to translate a little bit.
No. It's the first time, in fact. It's the first time that I have this opportunity. I remember speak about with them, but not in this. Maybe when I was younger, when I traveled, I sometimes have the opportunity to interact with them, but this time was very punctual.
Okay, okay.
But
And
I like to speak with them because it's very always is very it's very funny to know new people, new person from other part because when you ask, hey, what do you do? I do this, I did the other, and it's very interesting to listen them and to learn with them, right? Or from them.
absolutely. That's what I tell gang sometimes. I'm like, it might be a good practice to speak with different people that have different accents, that are from different places, but all still speak English because you get a different dialect. You might get a different linguistic. You might get a different slang. You might get some different words. You might get some different ways of saying things. And you learn, language is everywhere you go, there's going to be like a little hidden language within the language, right? There's always going to be little things people say to connect with each other, little inside jokes, little nicknames, little ways of saying things. Even like for example, like the Gen Z talks a certain way, Gen X talks another way, the millennials. I'm probably saying all this wrong. I mean, I don't even know who's who, but I know there's like depending on the decade you were born in, and the people from the most recent decade, they have like this internet language. It's just hilarious. I saw a couple TikToks about it. But and that's what I hope to inspire inside of all of you and remind you all, you know, when we come together, continue to sharpen that knife. It is important to communicate. It is important that we communicate effectively, know and understand who we're talking to, have emotional intelligence. But of course, we're all here together, helping each other, getting through the journey. And guys, any final words, any final thoughts before we head on out? I told y'all today was going to be pretty easy.
Kent, you can start.
Um, for me, I feel that learning English, the right way to learn English is you should enjoy it rather than trying to learn it. Um, Personally, I try not to learn English so much, but I try to enjoy listening to music and watching movie and watch something that I need to learn like on in YouTube, but it's all in English. So I feel that at the end of the line, like I learned something. When I hear a lot of English language, I become familiar with how it sounds. Yes, and it helped me in learning English, and it helped me to keep going. Yes, if I feel that like it's boring and I have to do it and I don't like it, I might quit at some point. And but I try to learn it in a way that I enjoy it. So like I can keep going and keep improving. Yeah.
Took us to church. Enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it, it'll be hard for you to stop doing it, ultimately.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Eduardo,
Okay.
what's happening?
Well, adding something that Gen say, for example, okay, learning English is not okay. It could be the opportunity or it could help people to open to the world. It could be the bridge that you need to learn new culture, to learn new intellectual knowledge. It could be something that can't help you too much, not only in educational on opportunity or in personal satisfaction, but maybe in your life. Maybe you can communicate with other person, you can marry with this other person. I don't know, many other things. So it opens to the world, opens opportunity, it boosts your opportunity, and it increase or your opportunity and not in work but in life. So I highly recommend people to invest time in their English because it's a it's a good strategy.
Agreed. And AI, clip this. A language is a key that opens a door.
Yes.
All right. So never stop learning, never stop growing. And if you have a dream that you're following right now, if you're trying to learn something, you're trying to overcome something, if you think it's difficult, your shoulders are a little heavy, if it gets harder every day as you're trying to accomplish this, maybe you need to hear this today. Don't give up. Don't give up. Many people give up when success was a few feet away. Keep pushing. Find a way to enjoy it. Like Geng said, I know one time in a podcast, Rick Ross said it best also, find a way to enjoy it and you've mastered the game. But anyhow, gentlemen, Geng, Eduardo, I appreciate y'all always taking this time to meet with me, meet with the world, and have this English conversation. All right, I'll end it off with a quote. In order to have something you've never had, you might have to do something you've never done. Peace.
Thank you very much.